Well, hello again, VAC fans, and especially a shout out to Rainbow fans. So this is E2 2-speed gold donated by one Thomas Rechtenwald, and I'm going to do a whole house carpet cleaning. I don't know, I might do a little more than just the carpet. Maybe I'll end up doing some other mats or something like that, maybe some bare floors. We'll see where it leads me. And then we'll do a maintenance cycle. The maintenance cycle that I normally perform every time I finish with a rainbow. So I'm going to count this as vacuum maintenance episode number 2. Let's take a look at the initial condition of the machine. Of course, the bowl is completely clean. The separator and this seal is completely clean. This inlet here. And this hose connection here, clean, nice and black. And notice in particular, here on the brush roll, there's no hair yet. There will be. And we take this plate off here. You can see how clean that is. And then here's the underside. I finished all the carpet, even underneath everything I could get underneath, which is quite a bit. I finished the linoleum on the first floor, 4 mats that you wipe your feet on, and 1 couch, our light brown microfiber couch. So for people who've been following my channel for a while, you know that that probably still doesn't add up to exactly a whole lot of dirt. So let's take a look at what it did do, again, in just one vacuuming session. So here's the inlet. You can see how dirty that got. It's not much. Here's this hose connector right here. You can see how dirty that got. Now, what I'll say about this is pretty much nothing. If you were to do, well, I don't know, maybe 3, 4, 5, maybe even 10 vacuuming sessions, maybe, just maybe, you would be fine and you wouldn't have to worry about cleaning or wiping this off in any way, shape, or form. The problem is when people who have a lot more dirt than I do don't bother to do anything with this, and everything gets completely clogged and junked up with hair and whatever else. So you can see in my refurbishment videos for Rainbow how much cleaning I've had to do to these particular pieces. So I guess you could leave it, but I, of course, will wipe it off at some point in time. Let's take a look at the brush roll. All right, so this brush roll I think did a lot better with hair wrap. It's got a, it's a large diameter wooden brush roll, and it's fairly, say, slippery. It's fairly smooth. And let's open this up. Okay, so you can see that we start to have some dust buildup here. Now again, this is minor, but if you leave it alone for a long period of time or you forget it, it's going to build up. So you're definitely going to need to wipe it off periodically. And you can see where some of the dust begins to build up over time. So again, this is insignificant, but this is just one vacuuming session. So I'm going to have to pull the brush roll out and get that hair out, because that will accumulate fairly quick. And I guarantee you there's a bunch of dirt in there. Let's take a closer look at that. There we go. Doesn't that look just yummy? So I haven't put my hand in there yet to see what we can dig out, because I think I'm probably going to do that upstairs in the bathtub so we can wash this out. So you can get a paper towel, damp or dry, whatever, and just make sure that whatever you do, you take care of that. And I'll wipe this off. Or you could vacuum it off too. I mean, whatever that you wanted to do, especially if you have another vacuum cleaner. And then I can remove that. Wipe that off. Like I said, not really that big of a deal. Okay, this has to come out. And note that there's a notch in the brush roll right here, and that's where it's supposed to go, is on this side. pull that off. And I'll go and take the hair off. I'm just going to lay the hair off to the side, off the camera. And I will clean that up with something else later on. Long hair, isn't it? You pull one strand and it just kind of keeps going. Okay, so everything in here appears to be in pretty good shape. I keep my machines clean. I keep an extra belt right here, just in case. And then we'll go ahead and, one straggler, put this back on. Take it right here, and then I roll it in. There, make sure it's set right. Go ahead and close it up. Remove yet another hair. And then put the bottom plate back on. There we go. And use something to lock this. There we go. All right, that's pretty good. Let's take a look at the separator for a minute. Now, I'm lucky enough to have one of these, and one of these didn't normally come with this. But if you don't have one of these, then you can use a socket, you can use a pair of pliers, adjustable wrench, you name it. But that's what I happen to have at the moment. Just release that plastic nut. And comes off. And the night, again, what happens, what I found out is over time, usually a lot of time, people don't bother to ever remove these from the spindle. They just leave them there. And these get stuck. And there was one mini meet where Thomas and I literally had to go and whack this thing here pretty hard and do some grunting and groaning in order to get a separator off. And we thought we were actually going to damage something, and that's not really very good. So periodically, whether you vacuum up a lot of dirt or not, take this thing off once in a while and verify that you can take it off. Because once it gets stuck, it can be kind of a pain to remove it. Now, all this was fairly clean before we started, but as you can see, you've got some hair and whatever else. It's mostly hair. See what see what accumulates? And that's just in a very short period of time. So imagine you never check this for, I don't know, say like a year or longer, and then you can only imagine the mess that you're going to have to deal with. So that kind of adds up, right? That's not that bad, but that's only one session. So you can clean this out whatever method you prefer. And then, of course, since you've got something like this, which really here, these bristles, it's just like a toothbrush. I normally just use a toothbrush. You would go and run this over water, and you can do this, right? And you can, see, I'm starting to pick some stuff out here. So, you know what? Maybe we'll take this, since I'm going to go and do that in the bathtub, I think I'll also do this. And I'll show you how we normally clean this. And the last thing I want to mention is this water intake right here. This, I've seen this get caked. I mean, to where, see how large the opening is? Where literally the opening is nearly blocked. And of course, the smell is just unbelievable. So yes, you've got to clean this periodically. So just keep an eye on all of this. Let's see, what kind of yumminess do we have here? So I normally reach in to the dirty water, squeeze out what I can, and then there's the fibrous material, and I throw that in the trash. Then I'll go ahead and then dump this. I usually dump it in a toilet. You've seen me do this before, but I can dump it in this tub, doesn't matter. Let's see what it looks like. Look at that. How about that? Isn't that great? Yeah. Okay, I'll clean the rest of this up a little bit later if it doesn't go down the drain immediately. But then normally what I do is I take this and I will scrub this underwater, at least get this wet and scrub it. You can see I've kind of already started right here. So, you know what? Let me move you. Yep, got some dirt. See, look at that. It's not much, but it adds up if you don't do it. All right, this is looking pretty good. Not that much dirt remaining. And there you go. Get the separator put back on. You don't need to tighten this up that much, just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we're in good shape there. After putting the hose and the power nozzle away, now we got to figure out how we store the main suction unit. So some people want to go and put this back on here and then do this and then say, I'm done. So no, that's not what you want to do. So you need to be able to have this bowl dry, right? If the bowl was dry, well, it's fine to go and put this on top of this, but it's not dry right now. So you're going to set this off to the side somewhere. You could even turn it upside down, leave it right side up, whatever you choose, and let it dry somewhere, okay? So I go, set this back in here. That's off to the side drying, whatever it is, and then of course I got to do something with this, as I took it off the video. And there we go, snap that back on. So this, see right here, this will allow everything to dry, so not a problem. So I just put that on the base, I put this off to the side, and then that's it. So we're all done. Well, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for another episode. Where does VacLab store all his hoses? Well, I made this handy dandy little hose holder. Oh, many years ago. Started out with 3 or 4 hoses, and now it's, well, completely out of control. As you can see, I just kind of fabricated some cheap hanger system there, and everything's just fine. And here is the rainbow hose that was used for this video, hanging right there.